X-Men 97 just wrapped up, and this show easily exceeded, I think, all of our expectations. And before we jump into it, we have a friend of ours from Casanova Films, Josh, with us to help talk about X-Men 97. So please give a big welcome to Josh. And how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me once again.
Yeah, of
Thanks for joining
course.
us, Josh.
Yeah, it's always fun to have you on the show. And let's just jump right into X-Men 97 because we just watched the X-Men 92 right before the show even released, and I didn't think it was even going to come close to how well X-Men 92 did, but X-Men 97 made X-Men 92 look pretty bad in comparison. I think X-Men 97 did a great job. The animation was very clean, has a similar feel, but a lot more modernized with fantastic fight scenes and visuals. And I really liked how they gave a lot more characters screen time than they did in the previous show. Like Jubilee had a lot more screen time, Wolverine had less, which was pretty nice. And they finally gave Cyclops the time of day. But overall, this was a fantastic show. I loved it.
Yeah, it was definitely the summer show for sure.
Yes.
When it was announced, as Josh said, we always talk a little bit before the show. I was scared as all hell about this show. When I saw the artwork, when I saw that they were gonna do it, my mind gravitated towards, man, they're gonna screw it up. It's gonna be woke. They're just gonna do a bunch of like weird things with it, and they're gonna ruin a show that for me and for a lot of people, as growing up, meant a lot. I love the 92 show. It's just it's up there with Batman the animated series. It really is just it's very grown up themes. So I was scared. Uh, but every episode blew my mind more and more and more. And I didn't think that that was going to be possible. To me, the best thing that Marvel has done, whether it's TV, whether it's movies, has been, and I'll die on this hill, Daredevil, the Netflix show, all three seasons. This, I can say today, is right up there with it. It's
I think
it's
it's better.
it's Daredevil, it's Batman the animated series, and it's X-Men 97, and I couldn't tell you which one I love more. I can't right now. I can't. I'd have to watch
Yeah.
all of them and then come back and tell you guys which one I love more. This show was just it was just amazing, man.
It'll be interesting to rewatch it because I do want to go back and rewatch all the episodes in a quicker order and binge it. Now that we know what's happened, I'm wondering if that will change how we feel about it because I think a lot of it had to do with our lower expectations. Even if we had high expectations, it very much exceeded them. The character growth was amazing. The writing was fantastic. The creator did an amazing job with all these characters. Morph was a pretty big standout for like actually having a role in this show in comparison to 92.
Super.
Yeah, he was amazing, but I think this is by far the best thing Marvel's done in since Endgame. No doubt about it. It's the best TV show they've ever done. There's just not enough good things we can say about the show. We've got more arcs with Jubilee. We got
The villains,
as
man.
the villains were amazing, and the
Hmm.
designs for
Everyone
them.
was done well. I will say this about the animation. My only gripe with the show is I don't love the voice cast for Magneto because the guy who originally did it was God, that guy could read the Bible to us and you'd be interested in it. The animation style for Magneto, I liked the previous one a lot better than this one. But that's I mean, if those are my only two gripes about the show, really, then we're on a great track. One thing though that I never expected this show to do was to do what the movies never could do is give Cyclops his due.
Yeah,
I've been
Yeah,
saying it for years, and we have a great friend of ours, Kenny, who loves Cyclops. And a lot of Cyclops fans, we watched the movies and we were like, Cyclops is just some guy in the background, man, taking the background to Wolverine. No, Cyclops is the leader. This show did such a great job in showcasing that Cyclops is just as good of a strategist as Captain America, that he's a
yeah.
right.
great leader, and that he's a badass. He really is. That was awesome. I was very surprised by that. I didn't think they'd go that route.
Yeah, I agree. I do still think they made him a little bit whiny, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I
Psycho, he's got a whine. He's the Boy Scout. I
yeah, I
agree.
guess that's
He's
part
a
of
little
his
whiny.
character, but it was cool to see him do more with his powers.
Hmm.
I'm still a little confused if he needs to press the visor or not.
Sometimes he does,
Depends on
sometimes
the
he doesn't, which
iteration.
is yeah, but you're right. It's weird that they do because
It looks cool.
I think it's I think it's more for like exactly for visuals that when he does this
Right,
because we've seen him just it just goes, which is also cool.
He's doing it just to mimic Jean because she does the same thing.
right,
Yeah, so
right.
does Charles.
All
Even
psychics do it.
what's his name? The dude that plays him, McAvoy in in
Yeah.
the
No,
earlier X-Men movies. Uh, he said, "Well, I asked the director if I could at least go like this, because what else am I going to be doing?"
Yeah, because
yeah.
you
So
can't see his
yeah,
eyes. He's just be going like,
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be
exactly.
At
so
least for Cyclops, you do have that visual.
shoot, like it's cool. Like, who wouldn't want to be able to do that, you know?
It's a big
It's just
hindrance.
sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
E- Even in the finale, I noticed.
Yeah. Finale, he didn't do it.
Yeah, with his classics, he was doing it, at in parts against Bastion, but then there were times where he just rah.
So then, does that? Because thinking more about it, how else would he be able to get the optic blast out if he didn't have to push a button? Because they're always coming out and being blocked by the lens. What sort of trigger, if he's not pushing something, would it be to get it past the ruby red?
I
I'm I was kind of thinking that maybe it can helps him control the I don't know,
So you think it's
helps
like
him.
more like it's like a subconscious barrier?
Yeah, like he narrows the beam a little more when he does it like that, because then when he goes kind of berserk, he opens up and it just
Yeah.
I
like
really love Cyclops going ape shit and just taking off the visor and letting it go
Yeah.
because he
yeah,
so rarely does that, and when he does, see, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Cyclops, he just shoots lasers out of his eyes." It's not actually a laser, and it's
And you see that
extremely
like evidence of that
powerful.
in episode
it
one.
yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's extremely. I mean, it'll punch a hole right through a damn mountain. So, you
well,
know,
I think they took the fact that some people misinterpret what it is, and
Hmm.
that's why they used it with his landing thing,
Yeah.
showing that he's using the
that was
concussive.
cool.
It was so cool.
So
That was
that was
so dope.
there were so many moments like that in the first episode that made your eyes well up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, calling Storm an Omega level threat was I liked that in the first episode. That was so cool.
Which is exactly what if Storm ever decided just, what, I'm done with humans, she'd be as dangerous as Magneto. She could just,
Right.
I
Easily.
mean, I grew up in Texas, so I know full damn well what, the weather can do.
Yeah.
So when people are like, Storm just makes it rain. Nah, dude. No, she doesn't just make it rain.
I wanted more of
I wanted
that.
more too. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
nice because it seems like every character got their moment in this show. Wolverine had a moment, Morph had a
She had
few,
moments,
Jubilee
man.
had a couple. She had her own episode, which is amazing. We had a new character of Sunspot. He had some moments.
Yeah.
Cyclops, chock full of them. Everyone had their time to shine, and that was fantastic. Because, again, unlike 92, where it's just three or four main characters, really, everyone felt valued and needed here. Even if other characters weren't in episodes, as there were times when they did have to split off, it was still nice just to see other characters shine for a change. I think that was perhaps the biggest takeaway for me. And it's
Yeah,
also nice that we in 92 we did see it's in the bigger Marvel universe, and they did continue with that feeling of it being in the bigger Marvel universe with cameos from like Captain America, Iron Man.
Got
We had
Daredevil
Doctor
today.
Doom. Yeah, we had
Black Panther.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
I liked that feeling, even if they're there for a moment. I mean, even
Oh,
saw Spider-Man.
Cloak and Dagger. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Oh, I love seeing Captain America because, in the 92 series, we know that he and Wolverine have a history together.
Yeah.
Shield,
And I
right?
just I just loved seeing
Before
him on
Shield, yeah,
there.
during World War II.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Which I always thought that was super cool because Wolverine's been around for a very, very long time. So
Yeah.
to just see Captain America, even though he had no scenes with him, to see him in there, I thought that was pretty dope.
They really could do a lot with Marvel animation if for some if for some reason they want to go back to it. I know we really want them to go back to Marvel's animated Spider-Man, but I
They
like the
did
feeling of a
something
big universe.
that I didn't expect them to do.
Yeah.
They stuck with something. We have to. We
Well,
can't talk about this show
not
without
necessarily.
talking about spoilers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there are going to be some spoilers coming up,
yeah. So if you haven't seen the show, go watch it, then come back and watch the video. Press pause. They killed Gambit.
but he's coming back. He's
We
going to
don't know
be
that.
Yes, he's going to be the Death Horseman for Apocalypse. It was all but confirmed in the after credit scene.
Yeah.
But for this show, they stuck with it because they
True.
could have just brought
For
him
this
back.
season, they kept it.
I swear to God,
I
I thought
thought
he
they
was
were going to
coming
bring him
back.
back.
Oh yeah,
I
I
thought
thought
they
he
were going
was.
to
I
time
was like the
travel.
next. I was like the next. I was next episode is coming back.
Yeah.
His death didn't hurt until 3 episodes after
Dude,
because I
his
was like,
death
oh
hurts so much.
yeah. But I just thought because of when we saw Cable, I was like, God, they're gonna time travel. They're gonna
Same.
bring him back, and they didn't do that. And I was very surprised that they stuck with that. I was
Can
like,
we all
damn.
agree that is the best episode? Episode 5, remember, is probably the best one out of the 10.
I want to
For
say
sure.
yes, but the
But
following one was just as good, and the
Life
one
Death Part
after that.
2?
that was
Life
that was
Is that
I
where Magneto's in his skimpies and he just blacks out the world? Because that was
No, that's episode 7. Yeah.
I didn't expect.
I really
You
did
know,
the one with Madeline Pryor,
Yeah,
uh,
episode 3.
where it felt very American Horror Story.
Yeah,
yep.
I
with
thought
her being the Goblin Queen.
they were able to do a lot with visuals, where it's like this is why we love anime is
Yeah.
because you can do things that you can't really do in live action.
Oh, so much. And they kept her costume pretty accurate and made it a lot less risque than it is in the comics, a lot less revealing. And they still did a fantastic job with the character. And I like how you can, if you go back and rewatch it, you'll notice subtle differences on how they're different. As like Madeline Hare wears her hair down versus Jean Grey wears it in a ponytail,
Right.
and Jean Grey faints at every turn.
I think they brushed over Madeline a little too quick.
She should have had more than one episode.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually my only gripe with it. Not my only gripe, but the main one is that they were so consolidated. They
Yeah,
crammed so much into each episode. It was it was hard to absorb so quickly. And like you said, you got to go I tried rewatching them all last night, but it's just so heavy each episode
yeah,
that you almost can't.
yeah.
You can't binge the whole thing straight through. You can maybe do it in like thirds or something, but it's so heavy.
Yeah, no, it definitely is heavy because there's a lot of blood, a lot of characters you thought were gonna die, a lot of characters did die. I guess getting into the gripes, one of my biggest gripes is why was Life Death split into two parts,
Yeah,
especially when in those episodes they had like small 10, 15-minute episodes as well inside of it. So Life Death was could have been one episode, and then you could have done their other episodes as
I
their one
think Life
episode.
Death could have been two full episodes.
Yeah.
Kind of like the book. It should have been two full stories or two full parts of the bigger story. But again, that's why I feel like everything was so consolidated. Like we didn't need Motendo and Life Death. Like
No.
Yeah,
that
we
threw
didn't need
me.
Nintendo.
But Motenda was kind of cool because it was nice seeing the old Jubilee actress come back and voicing the older Jubilee. So that was
Yeah,
kind of cool.
I liked the episode. I
I
just
did
think
too.
that one episode.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the overall plot, and perhaps the only, even though it's not like hard filler, it's still the most filler-ish episode. It did have a lot of good character development and things that we did need for the characters, but it could have been done somewhere else. But it was still fun. I don't even the bad moments of this show, which there are very few in between, I think were still amazing. And we got the 90s costumes, which were fantastic. I like
We
the
got
90s costumes.
things in this show that it could be said about 92 that moments from comics were put into that show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think more so with this season. Things
Yes.
directly out of comics
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
we saw in
the
animation.
Fatal Attraction moment with Wolverine and Magneto. I'm hoping to get more of that in this finale.
Yeah, that was kind of glossed over.
Yeah, so that's probably the biggest surprise for me this morning watching it is like I was kind of bracing myself for that moment because obviously I'm a huge Wolverine fan and I
Yeah.
want to see. So I was like emotionally bracing myself for that, and I didn't get more.
I was surprised to see Phoenix. That didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, because I
It's kind
agree.
of a bit of a cop out.
We got a lot of Phoenix, in '92, um, or well, the original series at least.
Mhm.
So I feel like, yeah, where was she this whole time?
Yeah, we didn't
Kind of,
need. I mean, Jean Grey's powerful enough without it.
yeah, and it would have spoke more to her power not needing the Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, especially since her son's in trouble, and we finally got like the Cable arc and got that confirmed, which was amazing.
I love that, by the way. I love
Yeah,
Cable. I think he's
and that
very
was the
cool.
that was the old Gambit voice actor too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I,
they
I
brought
love.
back a lot of the old voice actors.
I will say, I don't know a lot about Bastion, and the moment where of course, spoiler alert, but where he rips off Cable's arm and then uses that to kind of
Yeah,
turn himself into this almost archangel type character, that was fucking awesome.
I
yeah,
thought that was gonna actually fuck him up. I thought in doing so, I was like, oh well, you're
Take
gonna use
over.
Cable's arm and the techno virus is gonna like mess you up. But it didn't go that route.
yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
it's because due to his already kind of cyborgish fusion, where he is like the combination of Nimrod and a human.
Yeah.
But that was still pretty cool. But I guess one thing with the finales, they did have a couple of cop outs. They had I honestly thought we are getting Onslaught at the end. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah.
But Magneto solving everything. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. It would have been nice if we saw the X-Men resolve the problem and then the
Oh no,
Phoenix. Those are my only two
I knew
issues.
there was no way in
Oh,
hell
no, I mean,
they were gonna figure that out. They would have all died. If Magneto didn't snap the hell out of it
yeah,
and
or if
stop
just
Asteroid M
opening the
from
time
crashing.
rift instead, where they would have failed. But the time rift is what saved them.
And I know Ed, I know you liked that Wolverine took a back seat, but I feel like in the finale he could have had more of a moment at least.
I
You
would
know,
agree.
we don't
I'm
even know
still
where.
wondering where the hell he is.
That's what I mean. I'm like, we didn't. They just comatose him and then
Because
say
we saw where the others ended up, but we didn't see where Wolverine ended up.
Yeah, Wolverine really did take a backseat. I mean, he out of all
maybe
the characters, he was probably the least needed, and he
If they're
probably should have.
following comics, because we all know we all read Fatal Attraction and all that. We know that he goes full feral ape shit, like
right.
with just his bone claws.
And that's
So
what
I'm
I want.
wondering if he like ended up in like prehistoric Earth and he's out there
That
just
would be cool.
fucking mindless. That would be
Maybe they're
dope.
like, maybe they sent him back to Weapon X program.
Yeah,
That would be fucked up. Cool.
So,
that would be really cool.
but that could be really cool also if we get to
Oh
see
yeah,
that.
no, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, so then I guess then getting into what's coming next. I mean, we got confirmation that Apocalypse is gonna be the villain next season, and that they're gonna be dealing with him in three different time zones. Do you think they're actually gonna resolve the Apocalypse arc?
He's gonna die.
Um,
I'm ready for him to die. Like for good.
I do hope so. But then again, I said that about the Sentinels in our X-Men 92 video, and I am so happy we got Sentinels back.
But here's why I say what I say about Apocalypse. At this point, he's becoming Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he's don't get me wrong, I'm not dogging Apocalypse. He's a very cool X-Men villain. But we've seen him all through the 92 show, and we saw him vanquished only for him to return in his original form, I guess, if you will. And at this point, he's just becoming the boogeyman, where it's like,
He
you
is the
know,
boogeyman.
we can't get rid of him. And that gets old. So like with everything, I hope that it has a really kick-ass conclusion to it.
That's
Uh,
yeah.
maybe even they could do something where like Archangel gets his revenge. Like maybe Archangel's the key to getting rid of Apocalypse for good.
Yeah, bring I mean they teased it in 92, bring Angel back would be a good play.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Coming back and introducing newer characters such as like Sunspot. Do you think and we just touched on it with you think they're gonna bring back Angel. Do you think they're gonna bring any other characters back or any new characters that haven't been introduced in season 2? And if so, who would you bring?
oh my gosh. Um,
Polaris.
well,
Who?
they teased at some of the cameos there, and Psylocke obviously would be really cool to see.
Hmm.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
they showed her with Alpha Flight, which is really cool. Um, but as far as like core X-Men, or
Anyone. I mean, I still want Kitty Pryde. She's been one of my favorites, but she's not coming.
yeah, definitely, definitely want Omega Red. I want more of that. So I think it would be, I think it was necessary for Wolverine to take a back seat so that they can kind of like give some other light. But in the next season, I really need to see like Wolverine and Omega Red.
I think we're going to. I mean, just what we were talking about, Fatal Attraction, it wouldn't surprise me if he had his own episode where he's the only character.
Yeah, and I mean they showed the Silver Samurai
Hmm.
a few times, and there must be a reason for that.
Yeah. Same with Omega Red. I mean, I'm hopeful they return.
Yeah,
I'd like to see Sabretooth.
oh
I
yeah,
think Sabretooth has to come back. If they're going with Fatal Attraction and with Wolverine's arc, Sabretooth's gonna have to come.
Yeah, I
yeah.
want to see.
And let us know who in the comments who
I'm
you
I'm
want to see next
biased
season.
because Gambit and Angel have always been, or Archangel, they've always been my two favorite X-Men. But the episodes that we did get in 92 with Archangel were really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, his whole like he goes crazy and I want revenge on Apocalypse and all of this craziness. I think that's really cool. I'd love to see him back because in the comics he regains his original form
Hmm.
and his feathered wings have been growing underneath the metallic ones all this time. And then there's a point in the comics where he could switch off and on. He could just like grow the metal wings back too,
Oh
Oh,
turn
wow.
weird.
his skin blue. His The way it's explained is that Sinister aided Apocalypse in mutating him to a degree where he can switch it like when he's blue and metallic, he's like more beast mode. And when he
Okay.
goes back to feathered wings and whatever, there's also a point that a lot of people don't know this, but in order for Angel to have survived that process, Angel has a healing factor, not on the level of Wolverine and Sabretooth, but it's far superior
Minor
to
one.
ours. Yeah.
And speaking of blue, I don't know how I glanced over this. We got more scenes with Nightcrawler, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler was amazing.
And here's the thing. I
The
was
portal.
worried that exactly. I we'd always wonder like what's it like to teleport like Nightcrawler. Now we know.
Yeah,
I would not
that's
want to
so
do that
cool.
shit.
And I love the three swords were amazing. Nightcrawler was fantastic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm very happy that they kept because this was another worry of mine with the world we live in today where there's certain things that aren't acceptable. I really thought that they were going to try and change his Catholicism. And I'm glad that they didn't because that's so integral to Nightcrawler
I don't
that
think they
he's got
could
his
have.
they
I mean,
today's world, man.
given we still got that sort of stuff in Daredevil, we've got it in the X-Men
Which is
movies. I
exactly
don't think they're going to remove it.
which is well, the X-Men movies were in the 2000s and
Yeah, I know it's
it's a
still a bit
different world.
older,
But
but
I'm glad that they stuck with it because it's so integral to the I mean, I'm not a Catholic myself, but it's just so embedded into the characters.
yeah,
It's like all of a sudden if Wolverine was a preppy guy walking around saying, like a surfer dude, it wouldn't stick with us.
yeah,
So I'm glad they stuck with that. I'd like to see another Omega level mutant, Iceman, but like,
yeah.
Omega
Oh
level Iceman, not fucking Bobby Drake, whiny Iceman.
yeah, we didn't get any Iceman, huh?
Not in this season. We got a
Mm,
little bit in 92, but very
That
little.
photo. He was in the photo. That's right.
Yeah, he was in the photos, he was in the first class. So then I guess with worries about season two, I am a little bit worried that they did lose the creator of the show for season two. I'm
I gotta
guessing,
call that dude back.
yeah, I'm guessing and hoping that after the massive success of this show, because it's one of the biggest Disney Plus shows, if not the biggest Disney
Absolutely.
Plus show, Disney should get him back. I'm hoping it's just some creative differences. Let the creator do his work. I
Look,
really hope they come back.
and James, I have a lot of things to say about James Gunn, but I'll be quick. J- you know, they fired him and hired him back.
True.
I mean, it's okay to make a mistake. You know, there were some creative differences. Maybe you guys had a, falling out. Serious, call that dude back because what he did with this show is not only call him back, let him do other stuff. Because what he did here is just, I'm telling you, man, I can't tell you what's better, Batman the Animated Series, this or Daredevil. They're just up there.
Yeah.
I had such fun with this show. I enjoyed I fucking almost cried when Gambit died.
Yeah.
Because but the way, it's not that he died, it's how he died.
He
And he
died
went
so
out
well.
the way because, Gambit's always thought of himself lower than the other X-Men, undeserving of Charles's mentorship and the love of Rogue, although she's a cheating biatch. But we'll get into that later. But the way he goes out, that was fucking beautiful. Just the whole scene was written and executed perfectly.
Gambit's
That
animation was also amazing.
it's kind of it's the out that everybody wants, as a hero, right? You want to be able to do the most, and he did
Yeah.
the most.
Even
I'm
went
gonna
out with
I'm
his
gonna
catch line. It was so
I'm gonna
cool.
make some people angry right now. Gambit's death scene, the way he goes out, he went out far better than Tony Stark. And before you guys tell me to fuck myself in the comments, I loved Tony Stark, played by RDJ, and his death scene hurt the shit out of me. But this scene, the way what he says as he's dying, how he dies, what happens immediately afterwards, best fucking death scene ever. I'll die
It,
on that hill.
it was really good. I don't know if I yeah, I don't know. But that
Oh yeah,
was it
I
was
do.
really goddamn good.
I think Gambit's death is what made me expect more for the Wolverine fatal attraction moment. I thought that, like, okay, well, if they'll kill Gambit off, like maybe they'll kill Wolverine off too, and give him a
Yeah.
full. And that's what I was really hoping for, was like, I want to see him get ripped apart and either die or
Let
not
Wolverine
just
rest.
be like,
You know what I'm anticipating now that Josh brings that up is at some point when the whole situation with Apocalypse gets resolved or during it, we're gonna have a scene with Magneto and Wolverine. Wolverine has no adamantium in him at this point.
Yep.
It's
so.
just
Do
bones.
you
He's
think
gonna want to put his hands on the Magneto.
so? Are we to assume that the act was ripped from him completely?
I don't
If
know because when I was looking at the scene, it was a still shot at the end where you did see the silver bubbles, but in the next episode, I don't recall seeing the adamantium anywhere, not on Wolverine's skin, not on the ground. Don't know if it's an error in animation or what happened with it.
I think they're
But I'm
going to
guessing it's
leave that.
gone.
I think they're going to leave. It could have just flown out into fucking outer space. Or because Magneto didn't manipulate it because he was out of it.
Yeah.
He was, in Xavier land for a bit. So it's not like there were some fan theories that he was going to take that adamantium and create himself a brand new helmet because,
Oh, that
his
would.
helmet that would have been
That would have been
badass.
really cool.
But I can't, I definitely, we know that Wolverine can hold a grudge like no one other. So I can't wait to see what that's going to be like when they run into each other and be like,
Yeah.
fucking took my adamantium, which Wolverine never really wanted. He always wanted that gone.
So then him living his life without it, similar to how Storm had her powers taken, will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, Wolverine could still heal and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's
So
still gonna be fine.
yeah,
So then how do you
a
feel?
lot of fans don't like Bone Claw Wolverine. I
I like Metal Claws
didn't like
better.
it in the movie. I thought it was weird in the
Let's
movie the way they
never
did.
talk about that
But
movie.
and you know what? We got to talk about that movie, but for another time, because there's worse movies than that movie.
You're right.
If I could produce even a fan film of Gambit, like, I always thought it would be cool to do kind of like Western, because
Yeah.
I want to see him dirty and gritty and
He's got to have, facial hair or a 5 o'clock shadow. He's got to have swab, man. He's got to
yeah,
be. Gambit is just cool without
yeah,
even
he's
saying a
cool.
fucking word. He walks in the room, and he's just. I mean, we did a video on X-Men '92, and most of the comments were by girls, and they were just, and this is a cartoon they were talking about. They were just describing Gambit. I was like, yeah, that's what I picture in my head when I think of Gambit. It's just even cooler than Tony Stark.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
You
what do you
know,
think about the new voice actor for Gambit?
I liked him.
He did a good job.
Like,
I thought he did a good job.
I think
I
all the
liked
voice
him a
actors
lot
did a good
more
job,
than
even Magneto. I know, I know.
it's kind of like you remember they did the Lion King live action, if you will,
I walked
and
out of that movie.
they hired the movie doesn't suck. They hired I can't pronounce this dude's name, but it's not Jeremy Irons. So the whole time
You're
I'm
right.
listening to Scar, I'm like, why the fuck did they just not call Jeremy Irons back? Like he's still alive.
Didn't the Magneto voice actor pass?
Yeah, he passed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
So that's the reason. Because I mean, they brought back a lot of the old voice actors in other roles if they couldn't put them into their original roles, which I
Yeah,
do respect.
Beast is the same dude.
Rogue's the
I thought it
same.
was cool. Rogue is the same, although you could clearly tell that
yeah.
Yeah, she's aged.
27 years have passed.
Yeah.
And so Morph, I had a chance to see all of these guys who were there at the San Diego, or not San Diego, WonderCon.
Oh
Damn,
Uh,
yeah.
that's so cool.
yeah, we did an X-Men panel, and it was so cool because they had really good chemistry. But the standout for sure was Morph, because there's a very new concept for everybody
Hmm.
to embrace. And then seeing the way though that Wolverine and Morph interact together, which we didn't get to see really in the original series because we had Sinister Morph, um, was really, really cool. And I like it. I wanted to see more of it because, they're homies. I mean, Wolverine said like Morph's my only friend or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think, especially with the finale, that Morph is in love with Wolverine?
um, from the actor's mouth, he says no.
Okay.
He says
I
no.
think
So
maybe he's I think maybe he's attracted to Logan, but I think it's more of like I'm physically attracted to him, but he's my
Okay.
buddy. Like we're like great friends. He just happens to think he's hot. I don't know.
But yeah,
he's
no,
Can
that's
can
fair.
can a guy feel that way about a girl? No, and any guy that says so is fucking lying. Like if you had a friend who was as hot as Rogue, and you sit there and like, yeah, she's just my friend. I think she's hot. She's just my friend. You're lying through your teeth. You'd hit that.
yes. And he said, kind of like anybody who's like really close like that, that's their relationship.
So it's just a different type of love. It's a friendship, familial love rather than romantic.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and I
and
think it's more one-sided too, because like we know that
Yeah.
Wolverine's head over heels for Jean. He respects what she's got going on, but if he had the chance, he'd tap that ass.
and clearly
As
Morph
a,
under
yeah,
Yeah, Morph definitely understands that.
and Morph is cool now because
Morph is honestly a very fun
I
character in the
he
series.
just annoyed the hell out of me in '92, and now he's cool. I like his mask. I like you know, I just like his look. Why he wears that now? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like his face. I don't
I
know,
think it
but
is just his face now.
I think
yeah,
it's
he did wear his original face in the club, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he that's kind of like the Age of Apocalypse design, right?
Hmm.
With no face. I liked it. I like seeing him, morph a lot, which is cool. Into very
Yeah.
oh he
He
morphed
he made
into
a
we
lot of
even got Reed
cameos.
Richards. We even
Yeah,
got
more
we
Reed
got
Richards
Hulk.
in there.
morph
Yeah, we
smash.
got Hulk. We got Archangel. Got a
That was
lot of them.
so cool.
Oh, the Archangel part, that was cool. Like midair, that was cool.
So
Yeah.
then, with all these new characters in the almost new iterations for a lot of them, have your guys' favorite characters changed from 92? I know Edward's probably still gonna be Gambit.
Oh, do I have new favorite characters?
Yeah.
No.
I I like
Well, Cyclops is.
Cyclops is growing on you now?
I've always liked him. I just didn't like what they had done with him.
Yeah.
But I've always thought Cyclops was really cool. Uh, that's why I have my Cyclops glasses. Uh,
Are they on
he
your
didn't
desk?
grow on he didn't grow on me, but he's just they did more with him. But no, my favorite characters are still Archangel, Gambit, and Magneto.
Yeah.
I think Crawler was a standout for me. Just such a cool character.
Agree.
Or I think there's a lot more they can do with that. Even outside of that, I mean, Rogue is really cool. I think I liked her more before. I think they maybe tried to make her a little unlikable this time.
I think they did, especially with the Magneto arc. And honestly, I think I like Magneto more in this show than I did in 92.
You know, I don't like Rogue. She's a bitch. And she's like, we can't be together because I can't touch you. There's a meme out there that's fucking hilarious.
It's such a good
Bitch,
one.
strap on the inhibitor collar
I
and they
bet
could
you
bang.
Beast or Forge can make it a bracelet you can take on and off easily.
Easily, easily.
You don't even have to look for those two fools. Slap on the inhibitor collar.
Yeah.
Oh,
They could go on a date night.
Yeah.
I want to before I forget about that. So it we get Bishop at the beginning, and then we don't get him really again until the end.
Hmm.
And then seeing him and Forge interact, they don't know each other. Did I miss something there?
I think it's because
They never
that
met in
or
X-Force.
well, that and also they're from different.
Yeah.
Because remember, in the Days of Future Past and all that, they're like buddies. I think
Right.
I think he says it at the very beginning when he's like, "Hey, have we met?" He was like, "We're friends, just not yet."
Yes.
I
Oh,
It's
love
like
I
after
love
the
them
fall of
saying
the
that.
X-Men is when they meet.
okay, that makes sense
So
because
it's like the start of it.
Forge is in this timeline, but where Bishop comes from, that's a different version of Forge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the future after the Sentinels have taken
It,
over.
he feels comfortable walking into the room because he's like, he just doesn't know me yet, but
Because
Yeah,
remember,
they're best
Forge
friends.
sends him back in Days of Future Past or in one of those arcs.
Hmm.
Forge is the one that sends him back. He gives him that little bracelet thing, that time
yeah,
traveling thing.
Yeah.
Nim coming in, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, there you go. When Nimrod's busting in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice seeing more of other characters like Forge. That was a lot of fun.
Oh,
But what
yes. That's one of them that I was like, oh, yeah, great. More Forge. That would be awesome.
and he had a good arc with Life Death.
Yeah, again, that could have been so much more too.
I think any of these stories could have been so much more. I mean, Age of Extinction was one episode.
I
Yeah.
think that we could have done at least like 45-minute episodes would have helped iron out some of that.
So then, how do you feel about the rumor where they want this to be more like a continuous show where they take like small breaks, but for the most part, it's just gonna be continuous throughout the year?
As long as they do
'Cause I'm
this great a
against it.
job.
But you can't. They have like 30 plus episodes in a year where you're constantly making them. People are gonna get burnt out. You're gonna run out of
No, no, no.
ideas.
I want them to continue to make it as long as I live, but I don't want more than 10 a year. I
Exactly.
think
I agree.
10,
One season a
10,
year.
there you go.
But they're
Yeah,
talking
one
about
season.
very short turnarounds for this show. But I think 1 year
Uh,
is probably best.
yeah. I think if we don't see it again until next year, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think if you do like a spin-off in between, that would be sweet.
Yeah, or like do other sort of Marvel animations still. So then I guess one thing, because I know Edward and I were kind of dreading it. How'd you guys feel about Professor X's return?
Okay, so first of all, I've never been a fan of Professor X.
Same. I guess also, was Magneto right? Yes or no?
Yeah, Magneto was right. Magneto's always been right.
Yeah, he's for sure right.
Well, some of the comments what you think.
I don't think that they don't have him mentally mature enough to be the leader of the X-Men yet. But his ideals and everything, he's very valid. Obviously, like everything that he says happens, and I think Professor X likes to pacify everything a bit. And I also think that he's a bit irresponsible too, especially with the amount of power that he does have. He doesn't utilize it, I think, as he should.
For
You know, if
someone who talks
Charles
about
wanted to,
consequences, he doesn't think about the consequences of his actions.
he does, in my opinion. I think this. Magneto's very powerful and he's got the ability to do a lot of things. But if Charles wanted to, the entire fucking planet could live in peace. All he'd have to do
Yeah.
is just be like,
Yeah.
manipulate the people in power
Yeah.
and
Like the way that Loki sacrificed himself to hold it all together, Xavier could kind of
Charles
do
would never make that play.
right.
Never. And I guess that's one thing where I really liked him being dead or off world. Because we also got
oh, he
Cyclops leading the
wasn't dead. He
team.
was out there getting
Oh, I know, dead
space
or
ass
yeah, but having
while the
Cyclops
X-Men are
lead the
down here
team, having
dying and
the
stuff.
X-Men like actually grow out of Charles's shadow, something I was really looking forward to. I
He's
still
so
don't think they needed him back.
yeah, so about that, like it kind of pissed me off that, he uh, um was in that moment, he wasn't willing to sacrifice everything for his love for Lalandra and this new life. That also plays into his selfishness. Again, he made it about he wasn't embracing, the future.
He didn't let his
Charles is
kids
a
live.
selfish fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that
He
And
was
only
it's
so
came back.
annoying.
He only came back after Gambit died. Like, why'd you come back now, dude?
Yeah.
that's why
You should have
right.
stayed up there getting space ass. Like, why now? It's too late now. Gambit's dead. Even I think Rogue tells him, just like,
Why are you here?
You let Remy die.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you come back now?
I
And
do think
and
it's unnecessary.
yeah, no, it's way unnecessary. I I do think that having him back now sets the stage for him to let's kill Charles. I mean, not just
Really
like
hope.
get shot in the head. You're going up against Apocalypse, which is perhaps one of the most powerful, dangerous of the X-Men villains. I mean, yeah,
I think yeah.
Charles, you're a sidekick. Do some shit where you have to sacrifice yourself now, because we've seen your X-Men sacrifice themselves. Sacrifice yourself, and I don't know, do some psychic shit to Apocalypse where it takes so much of your willpower and strength that you die in the process.
Everyone in this show is sacrificed besides Charles.
Oh yeah, no, Charles has never sacrificed a damn thing. He's rich. He's very powerful. I mean,
The worst thing about him is he
Lalandra,
just has a mutant
Lalandra's
brother
got
and
to be
has shed
pissed
Juggernaut.
at him because he just left her. He just was
We'll
like,
probably have a follow-up to that.
"You're having a civil war up here, but I'm going back."
Yeah.
And she's got to be up there like this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And her sister's up there like, told you I was right.
Yeah, exactly.
You're an
That's what
idiot, and he sucked, and he left you at your most vulnerable moment.
And now
He doesn't
Deathbird's
care.
gonna rule the Shi'ar.
Yeah,
it's
because
literally
Charles sucks.
it's literally the equivalent of somebody saying no at the altar and then leaving you embarrassed in front of all your friends and family. It's like,
Yep.
you
And your
know,
evil bitch sister. No,
dude,
Charles is right. I hadn't thought about it. I mean, I've always known that he's a little fucker, but I've never on this level just been like, man, Charles is really
Now
selfish prick.
everyone knows it.
Yeah. Now
so
Charles is. That's why he
also
keeps dying in the movies because he sucks.
Yeah.
Magneto calls him what? Charlatan.
Charlotte, yeah, because he's
He's a
full of shit.
charlatan.
So I
He just
thought that was kind of cool.
BS his way through crap.
Yeah.
And no, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a fantastic meme out there. Magneto's right. Magneto's always been right.
Magneto's
I've been
right.
saying that shit
They have it on
since I
t-shirts
first
now.
since I first picked up comics, and I've been reading his arc. I'm like, people have always asked, like, who would you side with? Magneto. Charles sucks.
And the number
Charles
of
is gonna
times
leave
that
you in the trenches,
yeah.
dead and wounded. Magneto's gonna look what he did for what was his name, Leech.
And the number of
held him.
times that Magneto's like actually had peaceful solutions that would have worked if humans just left it
Oh, humans are
alone.
dicks.
Like,
We
they had-
suck.
Yeah, like I mean they'd asteroid him a couple of times and it's just
No, we suck as a species. Magneto's right, 100%.
yeah.
Like, I mean, if you take what X-Men are metaphored for, I mean, just look at the world around us. You know, like immigration and racism and shit like that. Yeah, Magneto's right. We can't get right. We tend to do shit that makes the world worse, and that's what he's been trying to tell Charles, the X-Men,
For
and that's
80
why
years
Rogue is
now.
that's yeah, that's why in my mind I don't think now it'll happen, but I think Denzel Washington would be so good as Magneto. For all the people that hate me saying that, hear me out. Magneto and Charles Xavier were thought of as a metaphor for, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And this may piss people off, but for better or for worse, Martin always talked about peaceful solutions, and that shit never worked, even in real life. Malcolm told him, dude, these people are never going to accept you. It's always going to be this way. That's what Magneto's, been getting at all this time. And they're very like, what's the chick's name that freed him?
Magneto? I thought that was
Yeah,
Mystique the entire time. I'm not gonna lie. I
she
didn't bother
she
remembering
under
her name because I thought it was
she
Mystique. It
she
was some
understood.
senator.
She understood. She was like, you know what? After what happened in Geonosa, it took that for that bitch to realize it. But
Yeah.
she was like, you're right. I gotta free you because this is. And I hate it when Charles like manipulates Magneto and turns the power back. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude?
They could
Like
have played that so much better.
before you turned on the power, couldn't you have eradicated Bastion first? Like what? He doesn't think.
Yeah, no. Again, selfish. Like he just had his one idea. He's like, no, I'm right.
He's
Let me.
he's too
Like people could
political.
go a couple more hours without power, dude. Just first go take care of Bastion and
Yeah,
then turn
Ford.
the power back
Yeah.
on.
He
Ford
plays
just
more into the politics and like the actual political figures than he does the actual people.
Because without any power, there would have been no Magneto protocols.
Yeah.
Like the whole
also,
time, every time Charles does something, I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
I thought we were getting more sinister too.
Yeah, he
I
really played
did
a
like what
backseat.
Jean did with Sinister. I did
I
like
did
that.
too. Do you think he's gonna come
Because
back?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
hell yeah. Especially with Apocalypse being there. He's going to come back.
True. They've worked together in the past.
Yeah. But I really love that love-hate dynamic because Sinister fucking hates Apocalypse.
I think
And
everyone
right.
hates Apocalypse.
everything Sinister's doing is to try to figure out a way to fucking get rid of him. And I love that. I
Do you
think
think
that's
he's gonna
so
work
cool.
together with the X-Men at the end of season 2?
Probably now that you said it, yeah. I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, now probably. Yeah, it's a big probability. Yeah. I love how fucking insanely morbidly like infatuated he is with Scott and Jean. That's
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
he's obsessed.
Yeah,
But we
it's
got
crazy.
Cable out of it, so I'll take it.
Yeah, true. I do want to see more Madeline Pryor, as Josh said.
Yeah.
I'd love
She's
to see her
dead.
again.
Well, allegedly dead.
Who's ever really dead?
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing is like she became like, okay, yeah, no, I'm Madeline Pryor now. Peace. I'm going to Genosha. I'm gonna be this, and then she's gone, and it's just like, no, that was too like
I
that.
thought we were gonna get a lot more Emma Frost.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that,
We said
but
there's
I
such a
just thought we were
large
gonna
cast
get
of
more.
characters that they just some of them don't make it, which is disappointing.
I do want so they get the whole thing with Apocalypse. So I don't think we're gonna get it in season 2, but eventually season 3. I want Magneto's Genosha. I want House of M.
I really do want House of M.
Because
House of M
then
would be so good.
he could just be like, you know what, Charles, you're fucking nuts. So I'm just gonna go live on this island and give mutants what they deserve.
So
But this
then,
time, but now he knows what to expect from humans. So Magneto's gonna take precaution to
then they should
prevent another.
introduce more Scarlet Witch in the next season to build up to no more mutants.
Yeah,
Because that could
that
be
would
fun.
be dope. Yeah, that bitch has to die. She's more of a threat in my eyes than Apocalypse is.
I would agree. Yeah.
Because, and so it's in my mind, and this is off topic, but Franklin Richards, that dude needs to fucking die too. You can't have that kind of power. That shit is crazy.
I would agree. Yeah.
It's too much. You can't have people just altering reality. You should be like all of a sudden, you know what? Griffin's a dick. I don't want him to exist anymore.
And you won't even know.
that's,
You're
that's too much, man. I can't deal with that. Got to
Yeah.
get rid of him. So I think yeah, at some point Wanda has to be the main antagonist, and the move there would be to just kill that bitch because
That would be
she's
interesting.
crazy.
Especially if Magneto's still in play, which he's always going to be in play.
hmm
He's old as balls by now,
I think he should kill Xavier.
He's not. He's 60.
dude.
What?
At this point, he's
Yeah.
older than 60.
It's 97. He was and
Oh, because
concentration.
you're looking at it as in the year 1997. Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
because the show doesn't take place in modern times. It takes place in
Because if
1997.
you read the comics now,
Oh,
the other day,
okay, yeah.
a
Right
friend of
now
mine
he's
brought this up.
super
He's like,
old.
wait a
But
minute. So Magneto was 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy in the Holocaust. I'm like, yeah. He's like, fucking guy's like 90 now. I'm like, holy shit. You're
Yeah.
right. I'm really happy with this show, guys. I can't tell you how I enjoyed it, how it made me feel. I got emotional. It rarely happens to me. I normally, Griffin, I tell you, I'll say, oh, this movie sucked, bless you. Or this movie is really good. This show, it truly means a lot. I've watched it by myself. I've watched it with family. I've watched it with friends. Everyone that has seen it has loved it. The theme song, the tempo is a little bit more upbeat, but it's basically the same one, and I love that.
Oh, yeah. In the acapella one in this finale was really
Oh,
good.
God, that was so Star Wars, and I mean like like Duel of Fates and stuff like that. If I'm telling you right now, guys, if we get an X-Men movie and it starts with this theme song, I will lose my fucking mind. I hope that Kevin Feige's smart enough to. I know it's different universes and this is animation and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure every X-Men fan wants this theme song in an X-Men movie. When
We
we
got it in
got
Doctor
Charles
Strange.
Xavier, yeah, exactly. When we got that little bit of it, I'm telling you, man, I'm
Exactly.
happy as all hell.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
Josh, is there anything you quickly want to share with our viewers? Any upcoming projects or anything they should look out for?
And I think I showed you some of the Spider-Man comedy stuff. I have one that I haven't even edited yet because I'm just finishing up editing a film that I worked on, non-superhero stuff. I'm supposed to be premiering another film at the Uncanny Experience in Minnesota in September. And
Congratulations.
thanks. I have what I want to do. Of course, it's centered around Wolverine and uh, Weapon X. So that's what I really want to do. But again, right now it's just been kind of like I got to just put more energy into my life, getting moved.
That
We
makes
bought
total
a house.
sense.
Yeah. So,
Dude, when you can, get us a Gambit fan film.
oh man,
I know we talked about it like a year ago at this
Yeah,
and I
point.
dude.
want to so bad. I just I don't want to butcher anything. I don't want to rush anything that because I really want to do it justice, especially now that X-Men 97 has come out. I
Do
feel
you
like
have anyone in mind for the role of Gambit? Like, I mean, just someone that you may have worked with, someone that you say that dude fits the profile. He's the right
no,
height.
no, that's part of the problem. So I will say, like, when we first started developing even like X-Men Origins Jubilee, um,
Loved it, by the way.
thanks. I put out a call and I was just looking for like what characters I can kind of introduce, and nobody, even with as many people as you can imagine, would be interested in playing Gambit. Nobody
Damn.
hit, and he's just he's too good of a character to get wrong. Just like we talked about with what they did in Wolverine.
I think
Um,
the physicality of Gambit is because I spoke to, I used to, God rest his soul, used to be friends with Jason David Frank, and he did a couple of fan films, and he had his own production company going and things like that. And we talked about it once, and he said, you know, I think that's the one guy I'd be afraid to play for what you just said. He was like, I don't want to screw him up. He
yeah,
was like,
Yeah.
and Jason was very like, oh, I'll do it. I'll take the risk. But in conversation, we only spoke about it once or twice, but he was like, that's the one guy I don't feel I have to, because he's a little bit bigger. It's like I
yeah,
don't think I could slim down to that. He had the physicality of it because he was a big martial artist and stuff like that. But he's like, I can't get that accent, man. And I don't want to be the guy that people are on YouTube saying, oh, he fucked up Gambit.
and they will.
It will.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They will.
No, I would. There's there is one
There's the fan
fan.
film that's pretty good.
There's two fan films by the same dude, and
Really,
I saw both of those, and I was like, damn, that is so cool.
it's
And
really good.
there's the second one
Yeah.
he did like rogues in there, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, damn, that is so cool. He doesn't have exactly Gambit's outfit. He does have the coat though. Which
So
some
it's a
like
big part.
if this guy who did this, he said he spent maybe 15,000 on. He did this. He could go get Gambit's code. Why couldn't fucking, Fox Studios get Gambit's code? So
Yeah.
can it be done? Yeah, I just think you have to get the right guy for it. Um, but yeah, I see why you're hesitant to do it. But I
I'm willing.
think, I mean, given what you did with Jubilee, I think you could do it.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
I'm willing to overlook the accent. You know, like I would rather do no accent than get it wrong. But he has to have the swagger, and that's the one thing I haven't found yet is like who exudes. You know, I want him to be
Yeah.
tall, and I want him to be with Wolverine, so I need him to look significantly different than my Wolverine looks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He's he's just got to have the right build so that we can dress him.
Because
You know,
Gambit's slim.
apart.
I mean, he's ripped as shit, but he's slim. He's not this big, giant, muscular dude. He's very acrobatic. So
Very lean.
good luck to you, man. Good luck to you.
Yeah, so I do really want to do it. And it is hard because there is that other fan film, and what's that one called? Uh I don't know, Playing for Keeps or something. I don't know,
I
something
think
like
so.
that. Yeah,
I don't think
a huge fan
you
of it.
have to be. I think first forget about that film. I mean, it's a great fan film, but I think make it your own. Do
Yeah,
something totally different to it. Uh, I think as long as you have that coat, man, I think you'll be fine.
and I do have one guy kind of in mind, but again, it just and I've been watching him. I won't say who it is 'cause I never reached out to him about it, but um, I've
Oh,
been
no
what
one's talked to him about it?
I've never talked to this
Oh,
guy about.
got it.
Yeah, but I just thought like because you mentioned like, is there anybody that I know that I
Mhm.
might have had in mind for it? And no, I mean, I even have somebody already in mind for Omega Red and characters like that. But Gambit is just one of those ones. Like I said, I can't
He's
fuck it up.
hard.
I care about the character too much to fuck it up. Same with like Wolverine. Like I've seen probably every Wolverine fan film there is, and I still think I have the best Wolverine.
Yeah, the actor you have
I
playing is
think
really
I think
good.
with I think with what you did with Jubilee, given the fact that you cared about the character, I'm sure that the process was the same, like where you didn't want to screw that up. You got the person that you wanted to get. I think maybe thinking that way with Gambit, I think you'll be able to do it. At the very least, the dude's got to have a Southern accent. If he can pull off a Southern accent and he can, I don't know what the action sequence would be like. I don't even know what you have in mind, but I think if he walks in the room and he's got that presence, I think you're solid.
Yeah. So part of it also might be not looking for an actor, but like, trying to find some, but he has to be able to do the things too. Like, I want him to be able to move. Like, he has to know how to use a staff. That's the big thing too.
Yeah.
Because, like, with Wolverine, like, he doesn't need to know how to do anything, right? He's got
Yeah,
claws. He basically is a punchy guy. Uh,
exactly.
he's not doing, even though he's trained to do like pretty much every form of combatant there
Yeah,
is,
Wolverine would just cut you up.
Yep.
but he doesn't have to. He could just run at you and stab you. Gambit, he's got finesse. Like he's got flow. Almost like a Tai Chi flow to it. Not just throwing cards and blowing shit up. So
Yeah.
for me, it's gonna take a lot more to really hit. I want everything to hit, of course, because you got somebody like you who's a huge fan.
You got to give him the red eyes though, because one of the things that pissed me off about that movie is though, even though we do get the red eyes, we
Yeah,
get him when he charges up his powers, which I thought was, I'm like, his eyes are always red.
yeah.
So little things like that, which are a little bit nitpicky, but it's just what makes him him,
Same with
it's kind of like with Daredevil with Matt Murdock. I mean, it's just, which I think would be a lot easier to play. Hell, I could play Matt Murdock really right now. Just put on my red glasses and give me a walking cane. I think that's it. I had the look for him. I have the suits are upstairs. But with Gambit, it's letting the hair grow a little bit longer. It's getting the at least the Southern accent, right? And like you said, it's just he's got a lot of uh vigor and suaveness to him that, let's be honest, most men won't admit this, but most dudes, we don't have that.
No.
We can't just walk into a room and command that presence like Gambit does.
Yeah, he's got
Just
sweat, and he's got to have that. You're gonna feel it with the chemistry of the camera, and that's kind of what I've been looking for.
you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see. I know you want to pair him off with Wolverine, but I'd love to see him with Rogue. I mean, Jubilee.
Jubilee, okay.
Yeah, just one scene where he at least acknowledges Jubilee. That would be so dope.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I guess there's just so much I would do. Obviously, there's so much source material to pull from. I always want
Do
to
you act or just direct?
just direct. Well, I mean, write, produce, shoot, direct, edit. But
everything.
originally, getting into film, that's what I thought I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be an actor until I got a camera in my hand and then realized this is how I tell the story that I want to tell.
You've done great work with
Yep.
it.
Thank you. And because I love actors, I respect what actors are able to do. And for me, it's hard for me to check out of behind the camera because I always have a specific, vision in the way that I see, whether it's the camera movement or the composition. Um, it's hard for me to check out of that because I'm thinking, what does it look like? What do I look like? Do I look
Yeah.
like how I would want me to look? And when I work with, good actors like Dalton, who plays our Wolverine, he's my favorite actor that I probably ever worked with just because he gets it when I tell him, how I want something done. I don't have to ask him again. It's just like, boom, oh yeah, that's it. And of course, there's a level of collaboration too, where they have to bring their own flair to it, and
Yeah.
that's what you need with somebody like Gambit. Like, I don't, I shouldn't have to coach somebody how to be cool. They have to have that cool factor, and Gambit, it just needs, he deserves it. Also, I don't want him to be just a cameo. If it's a
Yeah,
Gambit, it should be a Gambit thing.
I agree.
Well, make sure to go check out Casanova Films on YouTube. They do some fantastic stuff. Thank you again, Josh, for joining us. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out our X-Men 92 video right up here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining us, Josh. It was a lot of fun, man. Love having you. Love just talking X-Men stuff with you, man. And thanks, guys, for joining us. And if you haven't seen X-Men 97, go watch it.